What is going on, guys? Accessory Red here, back again with another Pokemon TCGO video. And as promised from the last video, um, here is my Alolan Ninetales GX deck. Told you I'd do a profile on it. Told you it's similar to a championship deck. I want to say I base it off of a Nationals deck. I want to say it came in top 8 if I remember correctly. But yeah, as I said, some cards are missing, so I filled in with what I had. But it is pretty similar. I'm only missing a couple cards, but I will definitely get those sooner or later. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first one in this deck, just like in the last deck, this Guardians Rising Sudowoodo. Very popular card I've been noticing for its roadblock ability. Your opponent can't have more than 4 benched Pokemon. If they do have 5 Pokemon on their bench, 5 or more Pokemon on their bench, they do have to discard their benched Pokemon until they only have 4 left. We don't attack with this. It's basically just it's a bench warmer. Stays on the bench so the opponent can't have more than 4 benched Pokemon. Some decks obviously depend on running on more than 5 Pokemon with that what is it, Skyfield, where you can have 8 Pokemon on your bench. You know, those I want to say it was a Rayquaza deck. I feel like the new some of the Ultra Beast cards, I can't remember which one it was, but does more damage for every Ultra Beast that you have in play. So I feel like that's going to end up being a very good deck and expanded with Skyfield. Yeah, so this will put a stop to it, unless you know they have, you know, the ability lock you with Garbodor, you know, with the Garbotoxin, you know, or the Greninja break decks, you know, with the Greninja with the Shadow Stitching attack that prevents you from having abilities your next turn. But I mean, they have to constantly be spamming that, so I guess that doesn't really matter. Yeah, so that's that for that. Next up, we have the promo Tapu Koko. This deck is supposed to run 2 of them, but I only have 1 readily available right now. This is basically for spread damage. It's for 2 colorless energy, so you know, just throw a DCE on it. Flying Flip. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's just an easy way to get some spread damage going on. It does have free retreat, so you know you can have them in the active spot. You know, Flying Flip, do the 20 across the board, and then retreat out, go back in, do the same thing, you know, back and forth, getting that spread damage going on. Makes it, you know, just chipping away on your opponent's stronger Pokemon and just coming in with your big dog and just sweeping them out. That's that for that. And I do run a 4/4 line of the Vulpix Ninetales. I do run the Beacon Alolan Vulpix, which is what it calls for. You know, Beacon doesn't cost any energy, so you know you want to start with that. Obviously, search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand. What I like to do first turn, if I can get Alolan Ninetales already in my hand, I like to go for the Remoraid Octillery, just to hurry up and get that Abyssal Hand on my bench as soon as possible. You know, or if you don't have your Alolan Ninetales in your hand, you know, you can Beacon for it, and then you can Beacon for Tapu Koko, or obviously just you can Beacon for any Pokemon you want. That. And then Alolan Ninetales. I love this card. Such a beautiful card. It's got great attacks. First one for DCE, Ice Blade. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So that's any of his Pokemon. It does not have to be the active. If there is a benched Pokemon that's got, you know, if you want to hit the stronger ones just to get some damage on them before they put them up in the active, just so they're a little weaker, you can do that. Or if they got a Pokemon that they have to evolve and they got the lower leveled ones on the bench, you know, you can hit the Tapu Koko with a Flying Flip, get that 20 damage on them, and then come in for the kill with the Alolan Ninetales next turn with the Ice Blade. You can do it. You get free prize cards off the bench, or you can do it to the active, but I like doing it to the bench because you can just hit the active with the Blizzard's Edge for 2 water energy and a colorless for 160 damage. Unfortunately, you do have to discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, but that's honestly not that bad. You could easily get those back on there. And then it's Ice Path GX attack, which I feel like it's one of my favorite GX attacks. Ice Path GX. For 2 colorless energies, or DCE, you can move all damage counters from this Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, I feel like every time I use this move, whoever I'm up against, I could just picture them getting so mad because they feel like they're about to get the knockout on this Ninetales. And then I just hit them with that Ice Path GX, move all my damage counters onto their Pokemon. 98.9% of the time, it is going to knock out their Pokemon. Because, you got some of the heavy hitters hitting for 180, 190, 200. You hit them back with that Ice Path GX and it'll take them out, or almost take them out. The next turn will definitely take them out. So Alolan Ninetales is definitely the MVP of this deck. So it is weak to Steel. So what the Metagross decks. It's really the only deck I can think of off the top of my head, but I haven't really ran into a lot of Steel decks, which is a good thing. It does only have 1 retreat cost, which isn't too bad. Other than that, yeah, that's that. Articuno, that's one of the cards, supposed to run 1 tapu lele, but again, I don't have tapu lele, so I had to put something in there. So I put the Articuno in there. Mainly use that just for the Find Ice attack. The first one for 1 water energy. Search your deck for up to 3 energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Just to get some energy into my hand so I can play it down. But sometimes it doesn't always work because, everybody runs N. It's a very disrupting card. Stuff like that. There's the Articuno. This deck is supposed to run the 2-2 line of the Remoraid Octillery, but again, I only have 1 Octillery. Don't really need to worry about the Remoraid. If it ends up in the active spot, it's your first Pokemon, throw energy on it, Wild River, switch it out so that way it doesn't automatically get knocked out right out of the gate. And then obviously evolve it into Octillery for Abyssal Hand. That's the only thing you play this card for, is the ability. You don't attack with it whatsoever, obviously, because just for 40 damage, you need 2 water energies and a colorless. It is the most ridiculous energy cost for that itty bitty bit of damage. So that's it for the Pokemon. So next we're going to move on to the trainers. First trainer card, very crucial card in this deck, Aqua Patch. Attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your benched water Pokemon. So again, it's one of those ones, you got a Vulpix, you got a Ninetales on the bench, you got Aqua Patches, load them up. You're really mostly using, that first attack on Ninetales, just boom boom, 2 energies just like that. Or you throw a DCE on there, and then, you use 2 Aqua Patches if you have them, get 2 water energies on the Ninetales, and there you go, you got a fully powered up Ninetales. So, yeah. That's what that's for. 1 copy of Field Blower. Everybody knows what Field Blower does. Choose up to 2 in any combination of Pokemon Tool cards and Stadium cards in play, yours or your opponent's, and discard them. Self-explanatory. They got a Stadium in the card, a Stadium on the field that's really bugging you, really irritating you, really annoying. Drop a Field Blower, blow it away. Or Choice Bands are really popular. If their Pokemon has Choice Bands on them, you want to get rid of them. There you go, you can get rid of them. Or say you have a Pokemon in the active that has a heavy retreat cost. You got a Float Stone in your hand, but you got a Choice Band on your Pokemon. You can use this to blow off your own Choice Band, to throw a Float Stone on there to pull your Pokemon back. So yeah, that's that. Or if you're facing Garbotox and Garbodor decks, the Garbodor needs an item, needs a tool on it in order to use the ability. You Field Blower that tool away, ability lock is no more until they get another item on there, or another tool card. Like that. It's a very, very good card. I should probably run another one, get rid of the Articuno maybe. Do run 4 Ultra Balls, try to get those Ninetales as quickly as possible, or get the Coco, or hell, even Vulpix. Obviously you discard 2 cards, search your deck for Pokemon, reveal it, put it in your hand. Simple as that. Run 3 VS Seekers. In case you didn't know, this is an expanded deck. VS Seeker, its been around forever. Everybody knows what it does. Put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. Say your Bridget got discarded via Seeker and get it back. Same thing, or if you need an N, or you need a Sycamore if you run them, or Guzma, or Lysander, any supporter card that you need that's in the discard pile via Seeker, you can get it back. Next up is our Stadium, Rough Seas. Very popular Stadium card, especially when with Greninja around. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 30 damage from each of his or her water type Pokemon or electric Pokemon. So, that would be it's good for you, but it's also good for your opponent if they are running a water and an electric deck. So if they're running a Tapu Koko deck, or if they're running even a Volcanion Turtonator deck, because Volcanion is dual type, it is water type, so you can heal it with Rough Seas. Or if they're running their own water deck, Water Box, anything like that, you're facing another Alolan Ninetales deck, they can use it. There's that. Going back to the Bridget, only running one. I don't think I really need more than one. You could possibly use two, but search your deck for one basic Pokemon EX or GX, or 3 basic Pokemon. So say you got right out the gate, you only got one Pokemon to put in active, and you got Bridget in your hand. Play Bridget, you can get up to 3 more basic Pokemon, so you can get the Tapu Koko out, you can get the Sudowoodo out, you can get all your Vulpixes out, or say you got all your Vulpixes out, you need a Ninetales, boom, you get a Ninetales. Possibilities are endless with that card. They do have an end to them, obviously, but next supporter is going to be your boy Guzma. It's basically Lysander, except you got to switch out yours too if you have another Pokemon on the bench. So you switch switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their benched, and if you do, you switch your active with one of your benched. Like I was saying, in the Turtonator Volcanion deck, they got a Pokemon that you attacked, they were really low on health, they pulled it back to the bench, put out a fresh active, and then your attacking Pokemon is on your bench, but you want to take out that Pokemon, so you got 2 more prize cards left. All you need to do is knock out an EX or a GX. Throw Guzma down, pull up their EX or GX back, put yours back out there. There you go. Get the knockout and walk away with the W. Alright, next up, N. Everybody runs N. 3 is like the magic number when it comes to N. Everybody runs 3 Ns. Each player shuffles their hand back into their deck, and they draw a card for each of their prize cards. Again, like I said in the last deck profile, perfect for end game. If you're losing, they're down to 1 or 2 prize cards, and you still got even 4 or 5 or 6. You can make them shuffle their hand into their deck, disrupt them, get them less cards than what they had before, and possibly benefiting yourself. This card, I want to say, was in the deck list. It was really weird. It wasn't meant to go as far as it did, but it did. Pokemon Center Lady, heal 60 damage and remove all special conditions from one of your Pokemon. So, obviously you heal 60 damage. Special conditions, say you're confused, paralyzed, you're asleep, you're poisoned, all that stuff. Or, you run into a deck that has Hypnotoxic Laser, where you can end up being poisoned and, I want to say, put to sleep, I think is what confused. Yeah. So, then you end up with 2 at the same time. Use that, take it all away, and heal 60 damage, so taking away the paralysis, or the poison damage, possibly the confusion damage. So, a really good card. I run 1 Kukui. For the simple fact, you do get to draw 2 more cards for a little bit of draw support, and your Pokemon's attack you 20 more damage. So say you have, say with Ninetales, has the attack does 50 damage, but the Pokemon that you're trying to attack has 70 HP. Throw it on the Kukui, you get a couple more cards back in your hand, and you get that extra 20 damage, enough to get the knockout. So that's what that's for. And again, Sycamore. I'm sure all you guys are probably tired of hearing about Sycamore, but everybody runs Sycamore. You got 4 Sycamores. Tells you discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Simple as that. I feel like this card can kind of be replaced with Cynthia. Sure, you get 1 less card, but you don't have to discard your hand unless you run a deck where you need to discard your hand. Like what?